Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 9, Rick Grimes' final episodes. So yes, AMC is ramping it up. They are going full speed ahead, talking about... It looks like some good marketing to me, but they are changing the trailers, uploading bits and pieces. And we said as they start to do this more and more, our theories are really going to take shape. And after watching this teaser, this trailer, probably for the 1 millionth time... Finally, something occurred to me that is outside the box. I'm going to show it to you guys. I'm going to show you some supporting documentation tonight, so you're going to stay tuned for that. But I really feel like we are narrowing this thing down. And tonight's discovery, I'll let you guys be the ultimate judge. But when I saw it, it was just one of those like, wow, I think I got it. So hold on. Don't want to hype it up just yet. I do want to do a couple super chats here and just a couple thanks for everybody. I want to say what's up to Valar. Valar says, hello, 99 Army, Kill Steph, Kels, Emmy, Sweet Tom, sponsors, Patreons, and of course, all the super chatters. And as Valar mentioned, patrons, you can see up in the top left corner, brand new patron supporter yesterday. That was Sherry Bentley. So thank you so much. I've seen you in streams a couple times, so appreciate you being here. And also, I got a unique request, because not everybody can attend live because of the time. So if you guys message me on Kick, or if you put a comment from time to time, I will do a shout-out. It's going to be called a playback shout-out, because they can't be here live. And this is for Robin W. Robin W. has been very active, leaving comments and, as if it were live, watching your streaming comments and commenting to your comments. So thank you so much. Appreciate all the support, whether you're here live or whether or not you're watching the playback. Also, speaking of live, hopefully you guys have been smart and heeded the warnings and they're not dealing with flooding, because we want you live and alive. Take some shelter, get out of this storm, and sit back and chill and listen to us in some safe haven. How about that? So, Kevin, to become a patron, there are links down below. I'll get to that at the end of the video, but there's ways to follow us, support us, hang out with us, all of the above, a little bit of everything. And tonight, hopefully, you guys are going to get, literally and figuratively, hopefully you're going to get your money's worth, because I have been a mad scientist and watching scene by scene and trying to get some of these breakdowns. So they did re-release the trailer and they called it Rick Grimes' final episodes. There are some notable changes in the trailers. There's some scenes that look like they've been extended a little bit more, a couple clues, and we initially thought this particular scene would be pulled out, and that is the reason. But what looks like has happened, well, and it's definitely happened, is at the very end of the brand new trailer, the whispers are not whispering. They're a little bit louder, still whispering, but you can hear them say, "Where are they?" There you go. Hey, if AMC ever wants to hire me to do a creepy whisper voice, I just did it. All you got to do is like press down your Adam's apple a little bit, and then you at home can do the same thing. So I got a super chat, and then I'm going to talk about some of the changes that we did see with the trailer, and one just boom, I loved it. So we got James Kelly says hello from Virginia Beach. Thanks for all the good chat. And James, it looks like you might have weathered it and missed a little bit of it. So glad you're Virginia Beach, and hopefully no flooding or anything in that area. Appreciate you being here and being a part of what we got going on. I'm reading some of the comments. So yes, they did turn up what everybody was trying to figure out, and there were just a lot of good people out there that heard it initially and did behind the scenes, so I guess they figured they had to do it. But this scene right here it's big, and this is what I thought was going to be pulled out, and I'm going to tell you if we got everybody's attention. But you know what? I'm not going into this discovery. I'm going to do what we always do. I'm going to hold this prediction hostage until we get over 100 likes. So you guys, if you want to see it, you can always dislike it later. But I got to see some energy, some enthusiasm, some participation, some all-out 999 Army representation. Hit that like button, because a few of the spoilers are making sense. And I slowed it down tonight. There you go. Now we're starting to see it. All right. This scene right here is very, very relevant. I do think this is the scene that we talked about, where Rick is going to be completely surrounded by walkers. And I'll tell you why. Because all of these important scenes, I know they're out in the woods, but there's this dirt road and there's this wooded area, and trees are trees. I'm not trying to say, hey, I saw a green tree and I got something new. But let me give you the very next scene after this. And a lot of times they do cut and paste. But the next scene after this whole herd of walkers, and we will go back, is going to be this particular scene right here. We're going to skip around through a couple of them. Got a couple slides. Not that one with the circle. We'll get to that in 1 second. But it is going to be this. Andy is a tremendous actor. And the one thing I've always loved about the show is early on in Fear, I thought there were some good actors and some people that overacted. One thing I will say about The Walking Dead is their characters seem to be so real, so much aligned with what's going on at that moment. So when you see that herd of walkers and then you see Andy's face, what exactly give me your thoughts at home. Everybody watching this video. So you see the wooded area again in the background, and Andy sees this entire herd. His eyes are actually a little glassy. And Tommy, let's make sure that person is actually gone. Chris Sousa says face of determination. I like that. I like not only determination, but the weight of the world looks like it's on his shoulders. And nobody else can solve the problem that he is about to solve for the group. Of all the stills, of all the pictures, of all the things I analyzed, this scene jumped out to me. But this is not the important thing that we're going to talk about tonight, but this is a part of it. It scares me. I'm not trying to scare you because we have hope that there's a survival, that there's something that goes down. But I will tell you, surrounded by walkers, this look, and the fact that I don't think... Oh, man, how am I going to do this to you guys? Whew. All right. We just got to do it, okay? I don't think that's Andy on the horse. I don't think that's Rick. And I'm going to tell you who I think it is. I know people have talked about maybe it was a whisperer. Maybe it was a double. Maybe it's someone else. I don't think it's Ken. When I watched this again today, I saw it. I saw Andy's shirt. I saw the hair. And I think it's Shane. And I think this really scares me because it's solid black hair. It's the same police shirt. And I think we've been looking at this from the wrong direction. Because we know that John filmed in this scene. And I think this is the hallucination. I think this is the part that Rick is going to see. If you go in and you look, it's not a walker, Shane. I think whatever happens when Rick is surrounded, this is what's leading the walkers away in his mind. I'm going to show you another scene of Shane's hair in season number 1. It's too big to be Rick, but it definitely ain't too big to be Shane. So let me show you another image. So remember when we saw Shane early on, and when people saw John filming, the first thing that they see is a shaved head, and they said, we're going to get crazy man Shane. But that's not when it was his best friend. That's not when he was in the police uniform. That forgiveness that Rick has to have, that Shane vision of Shane rescuing him. Shane's not skinned by the whisperers. Come on, man. Get serious for a moment. That, to me, leads it to a bad place. Shane riding away on the white horse. The more I thought about the white horse with Rick, it was corny. It didn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. There's a white horse in the middle of nowhere, and Rick's going to get on top of it. He's not riding a white horse through Atlanta. Rick has a brown horse, and he has his club, and he's killing things. So that white horse is symbolic. The fact that it could be Shane leading the walkers away, but the walkers probably won't really be led away, if you follow what I'm saying. Rick could be devoured by walkers and see his family and see the image, and the last thing is Shane, that forgiveness of Shane leading the pack away from him. And I didn't really notice it until I watched it again today. Let me pull it back up on the screen so you guys can see it, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. The shoulders, the brown shirt. The brown shirt was the part that really stuck out to people and said, it's Rick. And it was an epic fail. It was a white horse fail. It was stunt double, and Rick doesn't have black hair. But Shane does. There's nobody else that has this black hair. It is, in my mind, there's very little doubt. And the fact that you got the same dirt road, you got the same tree lines, and exactly, Emmy, the white horse was a sign that it's not real. And it's not, hey, follow me. It's a steady march of leading the dead away. It's tough. It was tough going through this because the more I analyzed it, I wanted to find that one little clue, that one little hint. No, I don't think this is a casting call. I think this is John. I think this is John Bernthal actually on the white horse. So there's the $1 million question. So Sergeant Chosen One says, what does it mean? You want my honest answer? I would say it would lend more toward Rick not surviving it than Rick surviving it and getting out of it. And that's why I struggle so much with this situation. And if it is, we can debate whether it's epic. We can debate whether there's closure. We can debate whether Rick has done and made amends for everything that he needs to do. I mean, he has done that for Negan. And if Rick makes another sacrifice for someone, and could I tie in the boots walking along possibly this road? Because the boots are walking and we see the blood. And the episode is titled What Comes After. Now, I'm not saying that, there couldn't be a play on words there. What comes after Rick leaving? What comes after Rick dying? And Casey, I'm trying to incorporate that in. I'm trying to incorporate the helicopter. But this to me leads me more to believe that he won't survive it. And I'm trying to mess with you guys. I mean, I really want to get my hands on something, but if I give you a theory and it is a theory of Rick, on a horse and riding through it and Jadis, I'm not saying that's inconceivable. But I also want to give you the flip side of what we see in front of us, and there's a herd. I mean, let's walk back through just these scenes, and we won't even get to the fact that Rick's walking along probably the same road, and someone's bleeding. And maybe that someone is who he's trying to save. So let's start with this, okay? This is the casting call. This is all the walkers out there. This is where you can't be claustrophobic. And this is going to be, I mean, this could be a mile worth of walkers. This is not your typical, hey, there's a few. They're spreading into the woods. They're going back. This looks like there is no hope. All right, and then we move on to this. What are we going to do? What am I going to do? Is this where it ends? Is this how it all goes down? Can something be done to buy these people a little bit more time? What is my purpose? What type of traits are they looking? What type of strength are they going to take away from this act? I mean, these are all the things that I'm playing in my head when I see Rick in this moment. But a lot of greenery in these scenes. And if you go in and watch it, look, could be allergies, could be, I'm not saying he's crying, but I'm saying if you go in, the eyes are getting a little watery. And that could be like, you know when you know? That you're the one person that can make a difference? And I do think that this looked extended to me. We got a super chat, and I'll jump back into a couple of those comments in a second. So we got Pete M. Kills, I still think Rick will die. I hope he doesn't. Your theory of Shane on the horse is why we love your streams. This could be epic. I appreciate that, Pete. So, Maggie's lost. I'm going to recap. So the initial rumors that were out there, the initial spoilers that were out there, were that Rick was surrounded by walkers and died as Maggie, others, Michonne looked on, and there was nothing they could do about it. So when you see this scene, I don't think this is real. I think this is Rick's last moments, his last thoughts, his last chance to see Shane as a hero, not see Shane as a person that he battled and stole his wife and all of those things. I think the Rick Shane dynamic does not make any sense. Why would they have John come back and film in Rick's last episode? Why would that be important? What is that image that, and we debated this. We said, oh, well, Rick's not going to see Shane. What's the purpose of even that? That was his friend. But it's also somebody that he's probably holding that last little piece that he hasn't forgave him because of all the things that they went through. I do. And Toledo, that's I'm having a hard time saying it because I know it's going to crush a lot of people's dreams when I say it, but you articulated it perfectly. Where Toledo says, do you think that Rick seeing Shane lead the walkers away is forgiveness and redemption in his mind? They can let him be at peace with death and could be full circle of Shane saving Rick. That's exactly what I see with this. And that's why it would certainly make it hard for Rick to live. I can't really justify both theories. I can't say it's Rick riding through the walkers on a horse and he makes it to the other side. I find it harder to believe that if Rick is going down with the ship, that there's a way that a helicopter will be able to save him, because he's going to be in the middle of walkers. He's not going to be riding through it on a horse. But I don't think it's going to be just this. I feel like this might be the ending scene. I think he is going to, maybe even that moment where he's thinking. We talked about the other people that Rick would have flashbacks, and it would be Carl. It would be Sasha. It's going to be Herschel. It's going to be Lori. So when we go back, this might be that pause. I could certainly see this and those. Notice the distance. Here's what's interesting about that. And they do happen like bang, bang, like almost simultaneously. Okay, if each of you are looking at this, I'm gonna try to play it out in a very sad and emotional way. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to qualify as epic. But John Grant, you're exactly right when you said this is going to be hard to watch. So I want to make it hard to watch for you right now. Like Emmy said, you hope for the best and prepare for the worst. So just give me a second. Okay? You guys can all see the screen. You can see how far those walkers are away, and you're Rick. So they're walking towards you, and a thought goes through your mind. And it's Sasha. And they take a step and they get a little closer. And you have a flashback. And it's something that Herschel said. And they get a little closer. And it's Lori. Then it's Carl. You got all these flashbacks. Bam, 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 bam. But then they take you down. And even though it could be ending, there's peace, there's closure. So everyone else may be seeing a mauling. Everyone else may be seeing Rick being ripped apart, Michonne losing it, Maggie trying to hold on, Daryl in tears knowing there's nothing he can do. But Rick can't see all of that. Rick can't see all the sadness. Rick can't see all the people that are going to miss him. Rick sees this, that the walkers are being led away by Shane. It's more metaphoric than it is. There could be a couple storylines happening at the same time here. The reality and then the hallucination. And I know we're adding a lot to it. But tell me this isn't Shane. And if you tell me this isn't Shane, tell me who it is. Watch it again. Watch the hair length. Look at the officer uniform. It's not Eugene at all. I got a super chat while we're kind of absorbing this a little bit. Hey, I know it's a lot, and I know it was a very deep conversation tonight. Wayne Green, will we see the flashbacks be past or present? I think they're going to be Rick's best moments. I think they're going to be the journey. The important part of this, if I were writing it, and I've said I've searched for a way it needed to be epic. I need Rick to live. But if Rick dies, I guess I need it to be Rick's best moments. I guess I need it to be the journey. The best of the people he interacted with. Rick dying with no grudges. Rick dying with peace. But Rick also dying to join his family. I know. It's Valar. It's not something that's going to be easy to process. They definitely do. So I did pick up on that too. So Amy Jo says, look like the person on the horse has a belt over their shirt, a gun belt or a weapon belt. They have a belt, possibly a satchel, or possibly a big blood stain. So I can't make... I've watched it several times. I've blown it up. I've looked at it. It looks like a huge blood stain or a big satchel, not just a belt. So this feels like a therapy video, I know. It doesn't have that gist, that pop that we like a lot of times. And I want to talk about it to really make you think. I mean, not everything is going to be hope. I'm not giving up hope yet, but this did not look or feel good when I saw it. So I got a super chat here. Pete M says, Kills, you made it epic if Rick dies this way. Still really hard to watch. So Anna says no Rick death can be epic. So Anna, you and me are really kind of aligned with that. But I have to ask you, once again, if Rick were to die, would this be as close to closure, acceptance, okay, if we don't have any other choice? I'm not going to say this is bad writing. If they made the determination that he has to die, and this is the way they bring Shane back, I'm going to live with it. I'm just reading through some of the comments right now. I'm still here, everybody. Dawn of the Frank says, what about AMC killing off their cash cow? Is it a terrible move? I am on the record of saying I think killing off Rick and not leaving it open-ended would be a mistake. I'm not going to stop saying that. But I'm not going to be oblivious toward things that are right in front of my eyes either. And when you've watched this as many times as I have, and you've looked for every flaw and every error and every thing you could possibly come up with from, I've heard people saying, from other videos, they've come here and said, well, such and such said that was Beta on the horse. And such said that was Rick, and it doesn't look like Rick because Rick doesn't have black hair. I have not heard anybody say it's Shane. And that's why when I watched it today, it was like it kind of clicked. Wait a minute. This has been in front of our eyes the whole time. We've talked about John coming back. We've talked about Rick seeing him. The white horse has always been a little corny. Like, how's Rick going to get on a white horse? Where's a white horse going to come from in the middle of nowhere? So it makes sense that the white horse does not exist. It makes sense that Shane does not exist and the two are aligned. It makes sense that if they're leading the walkers away, you got this big herd that's coming at them, and then after whatever bad happens, a ghost leads them away. I haven't heard it, so that's why it kind of seemed a little bit more impactful to me. S. Smith, see, I don't have that answer. I understand your question, so he just stands there until they come upon him and gets eaten. No, I think he's either surrounded or that's what he sees in front and he doesn't see what's coming behind him and to the side of him and everywhere else. I'm not positive how he gets in this predicament or what puts him in that predicament. But what I am saying is that let me be clear, okay? This is not the Avengers. There is no cape on the back of Rick. There's no puddle he's going to dive into and summon a bunch of animals to come out and help him. Rick, devoured by a herd, is very human, is the weakness that everybody on this show has. And sometimes because it is Rick, myself included, we put these characters above it and say, they just can't die. They can't, it's impossible for them to die. But it is possible for them to die. And we're reminded of that. And what would take Rick out? Maybe not a walker. How about 1,000 walkers? So I'm going to throw this question out to the group because I want to remind us all that we're all human. What would you do if you were completely surrounded by 1,000 walkers? Pizzas freak out. Run like hell. Oh, Timothy, surrounded. Toledo said I would shoot myself. Say a Hail Mary. Die. Scream. Try to run and dodge. Fight till the very end. Surrounded, Gina. Not go the other way. I'm not talking about what would you do if there were walkers in front of you. What if you had walkers in front of you and you thought, okay, I can turn, and then they're behind you, and you get completely engulfed by not 10, not 50, 1,000 walkers. What if this is a herd like you've never seen before? No, Bob, you're missing my point here. Bob D. I'm not saying that walkers are not slow and they're not noisy. I'm saying, what if Rick is in this middle and he is completely surrounded and he can't go up and he can't go down? So I'm not saying that there's not gaps at that moment. I'm saying this is one screenshot. Hold on. You guys got to understand where I'm going with this. All right. That's your moment. Now, you don't see any walkers to the right, to the left of him. All right. That's what's in front of you. And little did you know that as you notice what's in front of you, you look over to the left and now they're coming out of the left. And you look over to the right, now they're coming out to the right. And you turn around and you get ready to go the other way, and now they've completely circled you, is what I'm saying. So I get it. I can dodge, I can move, no. At that point, you got what? Okay, now let's transition it. So if that's not you, if that's Rick, what do you do? Take out the last few you can take out? We've seen Rick in that mode before. We've seen Rick when Carl got shot, unlike we've ever seen before. Amanda says, what can you do? This is enough to kill Rick Grimes. And that's the reality. That I'm not saying it kills Rick Grimes, but I'm saying that this is enough to kill him. You know what? I give you 5. I give you 10. I'm not even going to count the ones behind there, but just in the screen here's at least 50. Now we're going to talk about some alternate endings to that as well, but Sonia Davidson, Andy said that there are other ways someone can leave the show without dying. Lenny did it, and there's another way, but I won't tell you which one. This is one possibility, but I do want to paint it as bleak as possible. Now, let me give you an alternate scenario. Because I kind of broke your heart a little bit, so if I'm going to break your heart, I might as well give you something back. Remember the scene of Rick sleeping. And he woke up, and that walker that looked an awful lot like a whisper was right at his face, like an inch or two away. A little bit, yes. Now, I'm not saying that this couldn't be Rick dreaming, that Shane leads a herd away. I'm not implying that Rick has to die. It could be a dream. Oh, everybody loves that. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, now, yeah, there's still now our hope went from 0.001 to like back to like 50%. It's like 50-50. Kills is just a dream. I didn't write it out. I mean, that would be fine, right? because there are going to be it's going to get wacky in 3 weeks because every episode is going to be like this. But regardless, Rick's last moment, and he's dying, and this is what he sees, that's Shane. If Rick is dreaming that he's surrounded by a herd and Shane leads him away, that's still Shane. I am officially going on the record, and as far as I know, I'm the only YouTuber out there that's officially saying, this is Shane. Now, I'm just going to... Have you guys heard that anywhere else? I'm just wondering. Because if so, I don't want to be accused of jacking somebody else's theory. Because in a couple of days, someone else will do it, and they'll say they did it first. That's the way it always works. Okay, so we're cool with that. All right, and a lot of people are saying it is Shane. I agree. Now, whether or not it's Rick's death scene or whether or not it's a dream, and there could be a lot of that. I think Rick's going to be doing a lot of reflecting anyway. And I'm sorry, Colleen. I didn't mean to get everybody emotionally disturbed tonight because I know how passionate this Rick thing is. And that's why I wanted to give you the hope back. Just a little bit of hope back. Legend 83, super chatting. Legend, you got to follow that up with a comment. You hit the button too soon. You got to type something. Can you guys keep an eye on chat, mods, if you could, please, and see if we got a follow-up comment. Now we'll make that our super chat spotlight and see what we want to talk about. So Geese74 is going to put me on the spot again and said, so you believe Rick's dead? That's a complicated question, Geese, because I can give you several different scenarios. Hold on, I'll be right back. He would also lead the walkers away in the process. Hold on, I think I missed half of that. I'm not trying to give you a political answer, but there's several ways that I see this playing out. And it's almost, and you guys could tell me the same thing, we need a few more clues, but I've sort of thought about what those clues could be and how many different scenarios could take place. And I'll get to that in 1 second. So Legend83 says, kills. Have you ever seen the Western chain theory? Rick is going to trot off into the sunset and his exit will be ambiguous. We won't see him die, but infer he might. Now they can work in chain. Legend, maybe kind of not to that degree, but that's been a little bit of what we have been discussing the last couple days, right? It's very ambiguous, and we could make our own ending with Rick, whether that is a sunset ending or whether we're not sure if he dies. I would love that. For me, that would just kind of pique my interest. And I know how many of you feel. You don't like it because you like closure. But for me, I'm okay with just something where I don't know what happens. Because I always find out a lot of what happens before the show happens. In this type of event, if I was completely shocked, I'd be okay with it. So I'm going to touch on Geese's question as well, where he says, do I think that Rick dies? So it's cause and effect. If this is a hallucination, Geese, I think he dies. If this is a dream, I think it's possible he lives or possible he dies. If I were writing the show, I wouldn't kill him personally. Because I know how much the fans even if it is semi-cheesy. I think the fans would have a little bit of short-term memory and accept the fact that Rick's still alive, even if it wasn't the best possible exit. Look, there's a lot of pressure on Angela Kang to get this right. She said as much herself. But I don't think there's as much pressure on her to get it right if she kept him alive. I think as an audience, we would be somewhat forgiving. Like, yeah, that's not as bad as the dumpster, but it's bad. But we still have Rick. We're okay. I think that would be some of the sentiment. But if you kill him and you kill him the wrong way, oh boy, you better expect revolt. Because there's going to be revolt even if you kill him a good way, even if you kill him helping someone or doing something courageous. So, you kind of asked me, do I think he's going to die? It all depends on which hat you want me to wear. What I see, what I think, what I hope, or how I would play it out. And I think all of those would be different answers. And I'm sorry I can't just take one at this moment. But they've got me on my heels, man. They've got me. I see something and I think I figure something out, and then a new debate comes up, and then we don't really change our mind, but we add a different theory and say we probably got 3 or 4 working theories right now. And we'll get back to some of those in 1 second. So Wayne Green says, will the show end with a cure or established living communities with no walkers? Kirkman says there won't be a cure. Kirkman doesn't control the creative content of the TV show. Cure might be a strong word. Hope through something would probably be a better ending to the show than death of everyone. If Walking Dead was going to end tomorrow, and I had a choice between everybody that I've watched over and over again dying, if tomorrow was the last episode, I would root for a cure. And let me clarify that as well too. And is that Carl Smith? Because that question has come up several times as well. What would a cure look like? A cure looks like not saving these half-rotted, arm-falling-off walkers. A cure is getting rid of the virus, of the people that are living. So that way, when you die, you don't reanimate. Killing off a few, trying to get some numbers, population finding a way to live, and all future communities and people being born don't turn into zombies. That to me would be, a bite doesn't affect you. If you die, you don't turn into something. You're allowed to live, but you still have to dodge these things because they will eat you. Just like you'd have to dodge a wild lion or a 50-foot cliff or an alligator or a poisonous spider. You get where I'm going with this. So when we say this, I think in a lot of people's mind, it's, okay, well, you're going to bring these people that are dead back to life. We're not talking about resurrecting people. So if you gave me choice A or choice B and said, you got 1 episode left to write this, and that's it, how are you going to do it? and there will never be another Walking Dead show after that one episode. I want to have society live in the hope that they live, not the walkers win and everybody got eaten, and I wonder who's going to be the last person that finally gets eaten. It's Tara! Tara outlived everybody, and she got eaten last. We knew she was going to die last. I mean, I'm going with let everybody live. Well, Legend Talion, a cure would give no hope to all the spinoffs. Well, neither would everybody dying. I mean, if the walkers win, there are going to be no spinoffs either. Well, you know what? That's a good point, Dawn of the Frank. So, Dawn of the Frank says, ends with a cure. How sad would it be not to have Rick see it? Well, it's going to be sad not to have Sasha see it, or Dale see it, or Herschel see it. It's part of the food chain. And so I don't think that it would even be like a real blissful ending to the show. You know, reminiscing over all the people you lost, but knowing that you won't lose any more in this way until the next threat comes along, it's mixed. It's going to be mixed emotions. When I saw episode 6 Untitled, I thought that would be... That also scared me a little bit too, to be honest with you guys. I thought that was a way of paying respect to Rick. When I saw 5 is called What Comes After and 6 is Untitled, I thought everybody's dealing with the aftermath, and that would be a painful show to watch. But, you know, that's all just speculation. Like, this is going to be his tribute show. This is going to be how he impacted everybody. Get out the tissues, because he's gone. So, I didn't want to bring that up, but since you did, I'll address it. There are things leading to him not making it out of this thing. We have to be realistic to that. As bad as we want it to happen, and as bad as I think it would be for them and for the writers. And if you guys thought tonight was going down Emotional Avenue, boy, episode 5 is going to be impossible. Well said, Dawn of the Frank. No title can explain the importance of Rick Grimes. And I'm usually a pretty forward thinker. I mean, that's why I like doing predictions and theories. But our 999 Army, if you think Rick looks surrounded, let me just give you guys a scenario, okay? We're an awesome group, and we're a big group, and we got a lot of passionate people. And Rick is a badass. And Rick's surrounded by walkers. But if those walkers kill Rick, our 999 army is going to be inundated with angry, hateful, venomous people like you and me have never seen before. And it is going to be hard to get your thoughts in there. You know what I will say? That night will probably be a ridiculous super chatting night because there's going to be so many comments that are blocked. People will probably super chat a lot of comments so we talk about them, so it freezes it. But yeah, I think that is going to be so emotional and so passionate that there's just going to be a lot of angry people. And we can't block thousands of people. So, I mean, we've had several thousand people in streams and spoiler streams before. And, you know, they're usually pretty even tempered. But if Rick dies, all bets are off. I mean, they're going to lose their mind. Legend, it'll be less censored. I'm not going to say it's going to be uncensored. Sexism, racism, stupid repeat comments will still get you blocked and banned. People will vent. But, you know, there's a way to vent and there's a way to get your point across. And we get more intelligent conversation and better debate. Coming into a stream and saying, you know, screw Gimple does nothing. It doesn't. If you have time to type it, you have time to think about an alternate way to state your case. Right? Instead of screw Gimple, I'm disappointed in the direction the show went. I want to discuss this. How do you guys feel about it? I mean, I know there's some words that are not as impactful as that. And, you know, it definitely covers a lot of bases and covers a lot of ground and covers a lot of anger. And, yeah, it has a lot of meanings. But, I mean, you can scream it in your household. You can say it. But when you go to type it, if you want to be acknowledged and you want to participate, type something that people are going to read and people are going to want to react to. That's the only thing I'd say. Shane, I don't know. I can't commit that it'll be a 2-hour stream. It might be hard to do a 30-minute stream. I mean, we'll see. We'll see the direction of it. Typically, we have done some longer streams that turned out to be those therapy-type sessions. But I'm not telling you I'm going to be okay. I mean, I'm going to try to be professional and do the best I can. But reading people's comments will, I mean, that's probably going to hit me more than the show, and it'll probably hit each of you more because, look, you guys are together 3, 4, 5 nights a week sometimes. Many of you are here for every single stream, and I know there's an interaction with me, but there's also a lot of interaction with each other. A lot of people in these chats have made friends with each other. We've had people meet each other and date from our chats. So it's a community. You're going to be reading other people's comments, and that's going to hit you as hard as the show. Now, how can they solve all of this? And how can they make it great? Look, you have a kid, and you have a choice to give them an ice cream cone or to give them broccoli. Most kids what are they going to want? Most kids are going to want the ice cream cone. Makes them happy. They have the opportunity to make us happy. All they got to do is not screw it up. Keep him alive. Give us our ice cream. And we'll be happy kids. And we'll have a great chat. And it's like, yes, they did take him away. There is a little bit of hope. I can't wait to watch it next week. That'll be the reaction. But if they kill him, less than 10% of our viewers are going to come in and say, that was a great story. I love the way they killed Rick Grimes. It just ain't going to happen. And I agree with you, Legend. I'm on a cauliflower kick right now, actually. Well said, Pete. Hope is all we need. Now, if Rick dies saving Aaron and Aaron loses his arm and Aaron is like a rite of passage and Aaron has to take over the Rick storyline, maybe they think that's good. I don't have anything against Aaron. I actually like Aaron. I think Aaron will be a good leader. But there's an old saying that you don't replace the legend, you replace the person that replaces the legend. So anybody that follows Rick is going to be scrutinized. You wait till somebody else screws it up, and then you go in because you look better than that person. No, Daddy Corleone, the guy on the horse is Shane, not Aaron. That is Shane's shoulders, that is Shane's hair, and that is Shane's police uniform. So Eric Glencross says, I don't see Aaron as a true leader for the group. Eric, I think Aaron has the qualities. And Aaron he's diplomatic, he's reserved, he doesn't always act out of his emotion. He has the ability to see multiple sides of arguments. I mean, I think Aaron would be a good leader. But he's not going to be the leader that we're used to. Daddy Corleone, if you need to know how this ties into the story, you're probably going to have to go back and watch the first 50 minutes or at least the first 30 minutes. Because it was pretty detailed and in-depth, and I probably can't do it in a recap toward the end of the video. But the first 20-25 minutes will probably give you a better explanation of it. Well, I'll do the best I can for a quick recap. John Bernthal is filming, so we know Shane is there. So the fact that Shane's not alive, you have two options. You have a dream or a hallucination. So if it's a dream, it can tie into the story however you want it to tie into. If it's a hallucination, then more than likely it's Rick's not in a good situation. Now, look, and I see, some people said, Carl, if you look at the screen, the picture like second from the right, that could be Carl or it could be a 95-year-old woman wearing a wig. I'm not willing to go out on a limb and say that's Carl yet. Because they turned around, I'd be like, I'm super, super wrong about that. I don't feel like any of those walkers are any specific people. I think they're walkers. But I am willing to go out on a limb and say the white horse is not real and the person riding the white horse is Shane and Shane is not real. I will stand by that. And I know, look, we've had a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. So here's what I'm going to do. Because we got another 3 weeks. And unless we do a just like a flash stream maybe on Saturday morning. We're not going to talk again until Sunday. So I don't want you guys going through tonight, Friday, Saturday, 3 days, and depressed over this, because we're going to have plenty of time, if it happens, to be depressed over it. There's no way Rick can die and that we're going to be happy about it. So with that being the situation, we're not going to accept anything other than the fact it's open-ended or he lives. He can't live for now, I guess, because he's not going to be on the show, so that takes that out. So he'll have to live away from us, or open-ended, I guess, would be the ultimate solution. So help me out with his bloody hand on the horse. Are you talking about the prop? I'm still here. I just want to see if a couple people respond to this. Right. Well, I'm not talking about the prop. I'm talking about the screen. Look, there is some trickery going on. A prop with a bloody hand on it. I don't even know if the prop is going to be a prop that's used. It could be. If it is, then we'll go a different direction. We'll add something a little bit different. But there's no bloody handprint on this horse. The horse that's in the trailer. Yeah, Spolling Dead's fan had a picture of a white horse prop with a bloody handprint on it. But let me say that if this is a dream, them putting a prop out there with a fake horse with a blood, that would be a perfect way to get people thinking about Rick dying. And let me say it again. If this is a dream, I'm holding on to the possibility that Rick doesn't die. But if this is Rick's vision, if this is Rick's hallucination, then yeah, I'm not sure the prop is relevant. And it would not be the first thing that they did. That whole filming in a different city and pulling people down there to do something behind the scenes with Rick that's a big deal too. Or Rick going out to talk to people with remnants of blood on his hand. I mean, Andy's not that dumb. Like, hey, I just got finished filming. Like, say hello. Oh, you got blood on your hand. I didn't even know I had it. I mean, they're calculated. Yeah, I would worry less about, look, everything that is shown and everything that we watch is not going to come into play whenever we narrow it down to the final thing that happens. And it will be to ultimately tell Rick's story. So we are an hour and 10 minutes. You guys, I know what happens now. So you guys you're tricky. Like, it'll be kind of, we go along with the flow, and then, like, right when it's time to end the stream, 100 questions come in. See, I'm getting used to the way you guys play hardball with me. So I want to say thank you to everybody. The last thing that I was going to say is, so everybody is not worried about this for the next 3 or 4 days when we get together and talk about it. Let's not just drill in on one theory. I mean, we've got 4 or 5 that are out there. We've got a helicopter theory. We've got Rick dies, and people have talked about having a script, and we debunked it to a certain degree. We got Shane now riding around on a horse. We don't know what it means, but it is something else. But let's say it is a dream. And if it is a dream and Rick's getting closure through all of this, then it could be a totally different avenue that we haven't approached yet. I will continue to watch, and I will continue to look for any hint, any tidbit. I think this is a big deal. I don't know what it all means yet, but if I can watch it 100 times and then start to pick up little bits and pieces out of it now, it was probably best that I was away from it for a little while, and now I'm getting back into looking for any little hidden clue that I can find. So some other stuff will surface between now and the next few days. I'm pretty certain of it. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Once again, get safe, be safe. Thoughts and prayers go out to any first responders and any of your family members that may be in the area. There's going to be some pretty extreme flooding. Get to high ground. Get out of there. So you guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you. I'm going to do a stream one of these times because you guys just give some amazing compliments. I will ask that once this video goes live, if you like what we talked about, then leave some comments. Tell me what you liked. If there's some things you didn't like, tell me what you didn't like. And also respond to other people's comments because we get people watching the playback. We will do playback shoutouts. So when you see that they watch the playback and they leave 3 or 4 comments, go back and respond to theirs as well. It's just a great community, a lot of interaction. So if you're watching, this is the closing credits at 1 hour and 11 minutes. So give me a quick 999 so I can do some shout-outs. Also, I'm going to start out with the top left corner. As I said, brand new Patreon is Sherry Bentley, so thank you so much. We got a ton of people. We've been growing our subscriber base, our patrons, our sponsors like mad the last couple months. So those of you that contribute to the channel in either financially or by being here every night, I am extremely humbled by the growth of our channel. You guys are absolutely incredible. So do want to say thank you to all the patrons. If you're interested in becoming a patron, learning a little bit more about me and some things that I do, where I go, those type of things, there is a link down below. Sponsorships, you can see Julie, Michelle M., Villar, a whole lot of people typing. Their name comes out in green. They have special emojis. That's in the top right corner. My moderators are absolutely amazing. That's Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells. The work they put in for this channel, being here, some of the stuff that they have to read and sort and be on the draw, absolutely incredible. And, of course, we got our core group of super chatters as well. So I want to start shouting them out in every episode. I want to say thank you to Villar, James Kelly, Pete M., Wayne Green, Sonia Davidson, Legend 83. Thanks to all of you. Appreciate your interaction. And when you guys do a super chats and you freeze it, I am going to stop whatever I'm talking about and immediately get over there and address you and get your conversation topic out there. So thank you so much. And now I want to do some super shout outs to Deborah Johnson, also to Lenore Smith. Sorry, Lenore. Hired Help, what is up? Shout out to Hired Help as well. He is running our Walking Dead Our World. And Hired Help, I'm assuming we are the #1 gaming guild in the entire world. Is that correct? So I'll get to you guys in a second because I want to do some shout outs. But by my last calculation, I think the 999 Army is ranked #1 in the entire world at the game. And we were right there neck and neck with someone, and we just went up another tier. And that is each and every one of you, and Hired Help just does a wonderful job leading that group. I'm there. See, I hyped it up. Tied for second. Good enough. We'll be #1 soon. But he does an amazing job. I'm there. I kill my few walkers here or there, but I cannot lead the way he does as far as leading that gaming guild. Absolutely amazing job. So shout out to you as well. Betty Jackson, thank you for being here. Javier Moreno, Newfield 12. DeVay Dolly, thank you. You have a good night. Viola McGowan. Crystal, the singer chick. What's up, Crystal? And that's right. Everybody hit that like button. Kelly Golan's in here. Have a good night. Shane Hudson, Michael Curie, Tammy Heitzman, Nick Woods, Bumblebee Brown, Samantha Coombs, Freeland 256, Dawn of the Frank, Diane Estes, Lisa Khaleesi Mandy, Zion, Ryan Anderson. And if you guys see some of these names here every night, I mean, wow. What a awesome, intelligent, deep group of people. Toledo, I love hanging out with you guys every night, and there's no better place I'd rather be than talking about The Walking Dead with this group. This group's absolutely amazing. And we have some sandbaggers sitting in the shadows enjoying the show theories and debates, and we challenge. Thank you. Appreciate you being here as well. Look, I know everybody can't participate the whole time. Some people are cooking, some people are driving, some people are at work, and they're kind of listening in their headphones. I know some of the little tricks, but the fact that you guys are here and you participate, thank you so much. Lakeisha Faison as well. Howling Wolf, John Grant, Sergeant Chosen One, all my sergeants, commanders, captains. We got a like hardcore army here. Toxic G, thank you. Carl Smith. Melinda Kettler, thank you. Stefanella. Have a good night, Owen Cardellino. Appreciate you, man. Becky Still. You're still the one. Sorry, I was trying to. This is shout outs and outtakes. It gets casual at the end of. I go to mellow mode. Have you never been mellow? Have you never tried? Who else we got here? Dominique. Thank you, Dominique. Star Guitar Goddess. You have a good night. Yeah, show some love for those moderators. They are amazing. Have a good night, Cammie. Thank you. Have a good night, Gina. Julie McGuire, thank you. We absolutely do and will, Drama King. Random things and some of the topics and music certainly will ramp up during the break and during the off season. I mean, as we get closer to The Walking Dead, there's going to be more Walking Dead, and obviously when it's live, there's going to be a lot more Walking Dead. But then we'll go on break and we'll continue to have our meetings in our groups and we're working on some other things, but it's just finding the time to do it. And right now the interest has just been in like every news media, every social media post, anything that you can find that has Walking Dead. I mean, we got to get out there and talk about it right now because this season may be unlike any other. Well, it's going to be unlike any other with the extra Rick. Richard Barnes, have a good night. Thank you, man. Kimberly G. And also the other Kimberly G. I will say this as well. One of the statistics that show up in our streams is audience retention. And that is one of the ones that I'm actually the most proud of because there's a lot of videos out there. There's a lot of streams. There's 4-minute clips. There's 5-minute clips. But the amount of dedication and the amount of time that our group puts in, we have people not only logging on, but here for almost the entirety of the broadcast. So that just speaks volumes about each and every one of you and the fact that we entertain each other. So I want to say thanks. I know I missed a lot of shout-outs because we do jump around a little bit. Jump up, and get down. So I am out of here. If we do a stream, we might throw a surprise stream in there. I don't think it'll be tomorrow. We could do just a real quick one Saturday morning-ish, but don't hold it to me just yet. I will. Let me get back to you on that. We'll see how the schedule goes down. And if we can, we will. If not, I will see you all Sunday. So thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon. Peace.